I don't know the odds of this. Some of you mathematicians down there in the comment section can say this was a 1 in 115,761 chance. I don't know. I've just had the weirdest stretch of 6 days in baseball, and it's actually the weirdest stretch in 2 games in baseball that I think I've ever had in my life. Some of y'all may have had this experience. I've never had this experience. But let me tell you what happened. So I went to the game last Saturday, which would have been March 28th. Went to the game last Saturday in Atlanta. Saw the Braves. 9th inning comes up. Estevez comes on for the Royals. It's 2-0. Baldwin comes up to bat. We get a walk. Next batter, Olsen. Olsen hits a single. Then we get a pinch runner for Olsen. I think it was Mateo. Riley comes up, flies out to right. All right, well, still 2-0, but we got 2 runners on, 1 out. Yaz comes up, single, drives in Baldwin. Now we're 2-1. Now we're cooking with grease. Always comes up, walk. Michael Harris comes up, drives in a run. Now we've tied up 2-2. And Harris drives in Mateo, obviously. So now Dominic Smith comes up, bases loaded, 1 out, and this happens. That is the first ever walk-off grand slam that I've seen live in person. I've seen a couple on TV or highlights or something like that. I've never seen one in a game I played in. I've never seen one in a game that I was at, a game I scored at, anything like that. So that is the first walk-off grand slam. Everybody was excited. As you could see, I was excited. It was just all kinds of fun. And so I had one of my best friend's sons with me that I took him to the game. And I told him, I said, man, that is so very rare. I've never seen that before. That's just amazing. You should appreciate that you were here for that greatness. And so I thought, all right, well, that was something really cool. I'll probably never see again. It was awesome. So 6 days later in the real world, in baseball game days, it was one day. It was the next game I went to. I went to the Columbus Clingstones home opener against the Chattanooga Lookouts, which is the Cincinnati Reds minor league AA team. So I go to the game. It was a great game. Some good pitching, some home runs. 4-6. Top of the 9th. It's not quite bottom of the 9th. Top of the 9th. The Lookouts get, so let me back it up. Clingstones bring in McDonough, who I guess is going to be the closer, or at least was going to be. Who knows now? He comes in. First batter he faces is Jorge, who hits a single. Then he gets Balcazar, who he struck out. So it's like, all right, well, 1 on, no big deal. We got a 2-run lead. This is the guy that we want close of the door here. Collier comes on. He hits a single. Now we got 2 on. They pinch run for Collier. I think it was Faltine, or is his name. Came in and pinch run for Collier. Then the big fella comes up, Ibarra. And I'm like, man, this guy. And someone behind me was talking about it. I was like, this guy, he hits bombs. I saw him hit one last year, way over that arrow sign out there. And so I was like, this is the guy you got to watch out for. But he walks. They kind of pitch around him a little bit. He walks. Now, Ibarra is not going to steal a lot of bases, as we talked about last season, but they put in a pinch runner, Vargas, for him. Then Troutwine comes up, who I believe was their catcher. I don't have my scorebook in front of me, but I believe he was their catcher. And sure enough, this happens. I don't think I really need to point out the stark contrast, although I'm going to, between the home team hitting a walk-off grand slam and being the home team giving up a walk-off grand slam, or veritably so. You can tell just by the audience reaction which side you want to be on. Now, that is not quite a walk-off grand slam, but for all intents and purposes, it was. It was a grand slam to put them ahead 8-6, and that would pretty much seal the game. Next batter was Allen. He struck out. Hendrick was next. He hit a single, and then Warren would strike out for his 5th time for the Lookouts. And Columbus didn't really do anything in the bottom of the 9th, so that effectively was a walk-off home run to one real walk-off grand slam and one practically walk-off grand slam in a 6-day period in 2 different games. I don't know the odds on that. It was just really cool. I wanted to share that story with you guys because I don't know. I didn't think I was ever going to see a walk-off grand slam again. And to see that in 6 days, that's amazing. Hope you guys could tell me the odds on that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Man, that was quite the stretch. I'll let you know how the next game goes that I go to. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to, you can subscribe over here and watch another video over here. We got more stuff coming out. I just had to share this story with you guys. See ya.